Welcome back to another timing system installation video by Cloyes. I'm Cody Smith, and today we're demonstrating timing system removal and installation in Subaru FA and FB flat 4-cylinder engines. Subaru produced 2-liter, 2.4-liter, and 2.5-liter versions of this engine for US production starting in 2012. For our video today, we're utilizing the Cloyes 9-0975 SDX timing kit for our later model 2.5-liter FB engine. The Cloyes timing kit will contain the 2 timing chains, all the chain guides, and the left and right hand chain tensioners. Be aware there are multiple different timing kit options for the FA and FB engines due to slight changes in the timing chain guides and tensioners throughout production. To view all the current Cloyes timing kit and component offerings, confirm which kit is correct for your vehicle, and to find additional product information, please visit the parts finder at cloyes.com. The timing components can be serviced with the engine in the vehicle. You will need to remove the front engine cover to access and service the components, and it's also recommended to remove the spark plugs to make it easier to rotate the engine. Some manual engine rotation is required during this procedure. Now let's quickly talk tools. To break loose and properly tighten the crankshaft pulley bolt, and if you need to rotate the cams individually, you will need a spanner wrench with interchangeable pins. Subaru recommends this wrench with multiple pins. And to rotate the crankshaft during this procedure, you'll either need this special Subaru crankshaft tool, or you'll need to reinstall the crankshaft oil pump drive and crank pulley bolt with ample torque to allow for counterclockwise engine rotation. Once the front cover is removed, rotate the crankshaft clockwise until the crankshaft key is at the 6 o'clock position, and confirm the timing alignment marks on the right and left hand camshaft sprockets are pointed at each other. These square notches are the alignment marks on our later model engine. The marks on earlier engines are small triangles or dots on the front face of the sprockets. Whatever version you have, make sure that the mark on the intake sprocket is at 6 o'clock and the mark on the exhaust sprocket is at 12 o'clock. If your cam marks are 180 degrees out when the crankshaft key is at 6 o'clock, rotate the crank one more revolution, then check again. This is the position to start right bank disassembly. Like most modern engines, don't worry about which stroke the engine is on or where the pistons are at. This procedure ensures you're in the correct position to begin service. Just remember throughout the process that timing is set by aligning the marked chain links to the marked sprocket teeth. Exact shaft locations are not critical as long as this procedure is followed and all the marks get aligned properly. Now let's jump into disassembly. First, determine if you need to remove the camshaft phasers. Cam phaser removal is not required for chain, guide, and tensioner replacement, but if you're removing or replacing the sprockets, you will need to hold the crankshaft and break all the camshaft sprocket bolts loose now with an E16 socket. Next, remove the right-hand primary chain tensioner. Then the tensioner guide, followed by the right-hand chain guide, and the chain. You can slightly rotate the crankshaft to shift chain slack as necessary. If equipped, remove the small chain guide between the camshaft phasers. With the right-hand bank disassembled, we now need to rotate the crankshaft clockwise so the crankshaft key is at about the 10 o'clock position. This places the left-hand camshafts in resting positions where no valves are opened. Repeat the disassembly order from the right-hand bank. With the left-hand bank disassembled, you can now remove and replace the camshaft sprockets if necessary. Make sure to inspect the ports in the camshaft nose for debris and that you properly align the sprocket to the camshaft indexing dowel during reassembly. Add a thin coat of oil to the attachment bolts and hand tighten for now. These will eventually be torqued to 13.3 foot-pounds. This is also the best time to clean up the front cover mating surfaces. Carefully clean all the used silicone from the block, making sure none gets dropped into the oil pan. Before we start the installation, let me talk about tensioner deactivation. New tensioners will come in the deactivated state with an activation pin installed. But if you're reusing a tensioner, you will need to compress and insert a pin to hold the tensioner compressed. Do that by pulling back on the ratchet pawl and compressing the tensioner fully. Next, release the ratchet pawl, allow the tensioner piston to extend 3 clicks, compress again, and insert the activation clip. A paper clip or thumbtack will work. The tensioner is now ready to reinstall. Start assembly by installing the left-hand outer chain guide if equipped. This will be the smaller of the 2 outer guides. Torque the bolt to 56.4 inch-pounds. Then install the left-hand chain. On the chain, you will find 2 matching marked links. These will align to your camshaft sprocket marks, and 1 unique link that will align to the mark on the crankshaft sprocket. Your marks should be positioned at about 2 o'clock on the intake cam and about 5 o'clock on the exhaust cam. The mark on the crankshaft sprocket will be found slightly counterclockwise from the crankshaft key. With the chain installed, next install the lower chain guide and torque the bolt to 56.4 inch-pounds. You can now install the tensioner guide, then the chain tensioner. Once again, you can slightly rotate the crankshaft to shift chain slack as necessary. Be sure the tensioner O-ring is in place on the block. The tensioner bolts torque to 75.6 inch-pounds. Check the timing marks one more time, then pull the tensioner activation pin. Now that your left-hand bank is complete, we must now rotate the engine back to our starting position. Rotate counterclockwise until the crank key is at 6 o'clock. Now just repeat the assembly process from the left-hand bank. Install the small outer chain guide and torque the bolt to 56.4 inch-pounds. Then the chain. The mark on the intake sprocket will be around 12 o'clock and around 8 o'clock on the exhaust sprocket. Use the same crankshaft mark that you used earlier. Next, install the upper chain guide and torque the bolt to 56.4 inch-pounds. You can then install the tensioner guide and tensioner. Torque the tensioner bolts to 75.6 inch-pounds. Check the marks on all 3 sprockets and pull the activation pin. If needed, torque the camshaft sprocket bolts to 13.3 foot-pounds or 160 inch-pounds. You're now ready to reinstall the timing cover, the spark plugs, and the accessories. Please follow the proper procedures on applying gasket sealant to the appropriate areas of the timing cover, that all critical O-rings are in place, and torque all bolts to specification. Like always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please contact our tech line or visit Cloyes.com. And to stay up to date on all things Cloyes, including tech and product information and more videos like this one, please sign up for Shopmasters at shopmasters.org.